right, guys, I'm back at it with some questions. Got some sunlight coming through, and I'm loving that. Some questions from the Instagrams, baby. I'm Zevanesh on Instagram, undergroundstrength.tv, on the World Wide Web, the interwebs, and these are some awesome questions. Thomas O. Hopkins asks, have you ever tried Smolov? And no, I have not. For those that don't know Smolov, it is a high volume, high intensity squat routine. I'm not sure how long it goes. I believe it is a 13-week program, and there's a lot of popularity lately. I've been influenced by it on squatting every day, high volume squats, but I have not done it. But if you guys watched my YouTubes, in late 2014, I think I did a 5 or 6 week squat cycle where I trained the squat, I think 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, because I wanted to get back up to squatting 405 pounds or over 400 pounds, and something that I used to do when I was younger, and things changed for me after I had my ACL surgery in my mid or late 20s, that was. So I have not done Smolov, and to be honest with you, my body is just gets beat up when I do that repetitive stuff. I'm creeping up to the age of 40, and what I tend to do with my training is I love the mental challenge, the emotional challenge behind it. And of course, that has to be physically challenging. So if you are up for a challenge, Smolov is awesome. You could probably Google it, and it gives you various set and rep ranges, and it's not all just working up to singles and doubles and triples. It has some various rep ranges, so it's something that I might test drive, but with my shoulder injury, I'm not squatting with a straight bar now. I'm only doing front squats or safety bar squats. So if you're wanting to test yourself, go ahead and do Smolov. Don't be afraid of it, because I think physical challenges, they help you grow not just through the body, but the mind. And I think that is of critical importance. So, Thomas O. Hopkins, if you're thinking about Smolov, don't think about it, do it. Another question from an underground strength coach, Joey Satsmary. So on Instagram, it's Zat Strength. Z, how are you? Thanks for taking the time to do this. My question is, what are the benefits to benching with a powerlifting stance versus a regular laying flat on the bench, no back arch? Also, should benching in powerlifting position only be for the heavier and shorter reps, or could it be used for higher reps as well? Thanks, Zach, and keep kicking ass. Great question. You're going to have to test drive that stuff for yourself. When you start benching like a powerlifter, there's a lot of benefit to it because you're learning to integrate your whole body. The bench press by the untrained athlete, the untrained lifter, untrained coach, they look at it as an exercise for the chest, shoulders, triceps. But anybody who's in the strength game knows that when you bench press, your body is engaged from head to toe, from your toenails to your eyeballs. It's everything. You're driving your legs into the floor. You're gripping the bar, trying to crush the bar. You're trying to break the bar by pulling and creating torque on it. You're squeezing your shoulder blades. You're throwing your chest up to the sky, to the ceiling. So your T-spine gets extremely tight from doing those kind of exercises. So that, I would say, is not so much a downside, but if you pay attention to it, know that you've got to do a lot of mobility and smashing of the T-spine. I think it's important to learn to be tight from head to toe, and to say the powerlifting arch is a hard generalization because some powerlifters arch tremendously and take a very wide grip. Others don't have that big of an arch. So I like to see something kind of in the middle. You've got a slight arch, not because you're trying to bridge, but because your shoulder blades, your shoulders are engaged, you're just being tight from head to toe. But if you're doing, let's say, the 225 or the 185 pound test for a high school or a pro day combine, you probably won't be able to hold that heavy duty arch, but you will need to engage and you will need to be tight. So it can be used for higher reps, but not with an extreme, tension. Those strong arches are meant for those lower rep ranges. And I think you should do both if you're not a powerlifter. That way you engage and train the body through different angles, through different stimulus. And that is very important so your body doesn't get adapted, it doesn't get used to the training, and you build yourself stronger by training different muscles and maybe taking out the assistance. So doing a bench press with no leg drive, just kind of relaxing the legs, or going straight with the legs. Of course, you could do that as a floor press. It's just not a full range. But doing that will test your body in a different way and make the muscles work differently and recruit extra muscle fibers. So I would use them both. Let's go to the last questions here. And Joe, thanks for asking that question. This question is from Manuel Bergman. Hey, Zach, I'd be very thankful if you answer this question. How can I gain weight? I'm playing football 2 times a week and working out 3 times a week. My problem is I have a food allergy from milk products and other things that makes it very difficult to gain weight. Well, Manuel, first of all, you just got to change your mindset, my man. Where there's a will, there's a way. And just because you're not drinking milk is totally fine. Some people, in fact, I recall when I was in my early 20s and I removed milk and dairy products, cheeses and, milk, of course, and I also removed bread. My body actually blew up. I got stronger, leaner, bigger, and I felt just my energy went through the roof. So maybe you're going to have to eat more meats, add in some different forms, different sources of carbohydrates, from potatoes to brown rice, to even some pasta, and just find some higher quality food. Now, your training will also help you get bigger and stronger. And playing football 2 days a week is not going to stop you from gaining weight. You want to focus on getting stronger and building muscle. So maybe start your workouts with a strength and power exercises, and then go to muscle building, doing exercises in the 6 to 12 range, 8 to 15 rep range to put that muscle on. So let's say it's a leg day. You're going to do squats coupled with jumps. Maybe you're going to do that for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 sets. You're going to really push yourself. Then you're going to do some repetition work. Walking lunges with weights, barbells, dumbbells, sandbags, back extensions, kettlebell swings, farmer walks, exercises that produce more time under tension, which helps with muscle growth. So just because you can't drink milk doesn't mean you can't get jacked and strong. So change your mind, change your approach, and I'm sure there's people out there, many people out there that are doing this without milk. It can be done. Most people, when they're not putting on the muscle or gaining the weight, they're not living the true lifestyle. They're not, kind of going back to my previous question, eating the way they need to eat when they're at home. They're not sleeping as much as they need to sleep. So whenever I ask somebody, why do you think you're not gaining weight? Tell me about your breakfast. Well, I was in a rush this morning, so I didn't have breakfast. Well, I bought the school lunch. I didn't have time to make my own lunch. Okay, did you eat after school? No, I haven't eaten after school. So essentially, I'll talk to an athlete who's struggling, and he tells me the only thing he's ate that day is the school lunch. So if you want to get jacked and strong, eggs, turkey sandwiches, roast beef sandwiches, tuna, then when you're home, you're eating red meats, chicken, even having fish once or twice a week. You're having the carbohydrate sources that I mentioned earlier, potatoes, having plenty of vegetables. You can probably find lactose or milk-free. There's plenty of protein powders out there that will also help you. So there's a lot that you can do. You need to find a way if you really want to succeed. And that's the end of this Q&A, guys. Go to undergroundstrength.tv. Sign up for that Strong Life Inner Circle, the Underground Strength Insider. That's where I give you the quote-unquote newsletter, but it's more like a punch in the face and a kick-ass everyday tips on training and life, because they go hand in hand. Okay, so decide where you want to be in the human food chain. You either want to be the predator or the prey. And the people that are delusional out there, they think that you could get by without being passionate, without being fired up, without being dedicated. You've got to go all in if you want to succeed. That's it, guys. Thanks for the questions. Follow me on Instagram, zevanesh. Click the links below in this video. That gives you all the links to see where I'm at. Thank you very much for the support. It means a lot to me. Peace.